what's happening, y'all? It's your man G-Wade holding it down. G-Wade Podcast. I'm telling you, the night is far spent, but people are still moving around like they just getting started. And I'm still getting started with my girl right here, Nancy, the psychotherapist. It sounds kind of weird when I say it. I don't know if I'm saying it right, because I'm saying psycho too much. I'm putting too much emphasis on psycho.
Therapist for short, but
Therapy,
yeah.
right? Right. So tell us about yourself and what you do.
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Nancy Robinson. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist.
Okay, that's what's up.
The cool thing about what I do is that I'm a telehealth therapist. So I do a telehealth therapist.
Okay.
So I provide online therapy services to people in multiple states. So it's easily accessible. And psychotherapy is the fancy term that I love, the technical term. But I provide mental health services, counseling, therapy services to used to be kids, but now I do adults and couples.
Wow. So what made you get started in this?
Oh my goodness. I love when people ask me that question.
They had a bunch of friends in high school say, girl, you always so good to talk to. I could talk to you all the time.
Well, that's true. I feel like I have that personality for sure.
Right.
But it sounds cheesy, but I stand on this. I was born to do this.
Okay.
There's not a lot of things in life that I'm sure about, right? There's so much variables, but I am sure that I was put on this earth to do this work.
Okay.
And I love creating a space where people can do some healing and to solve problems, to feel supported, to get some answers. Like, I love this work.
That's what's up. Well, now you mentioned couples, but let me say this first. I can see young adults, adolescents, children, but how did you get into couples therapy?
Yeah.
I don't want to really get into your personal business. You're married?
I'm not married.
You're not married.
No.
So I'm saying that to say this. Like, when you say couples therapy, are they not saying, wait a minute, how are you able to try to counsel us?
Sure, that's a great question. Oh my goodness. So this is very important. So one of my other specialties is substance use, right?
Okay.
So full disclosure, I personally have never used, let's use meth as an example, right? Very hard substance. But I am very skilled at helping people who struggle with addiction, even though I have never been addicted.
Gotcha.
So when you think about couples, right? I've had lots of partnerships in my life, successful ones.
Right.
I've never been married yet, but I'm very skilled at helping people with their relational issues because we're relational humans. I've been in relationships. I can help other people with relationships. So just the same theory, like I've never experienced addiction, but I'm a really good addiction therapist. And so the same with couples. I'm not married, but I'm really good at counseling people who are married. And really at the end of the day, it's helping them solve problems. And I'm a good problem solver.
Now, is it with married couples or couples, is it talking them off the ledge, meaning as in they're ready to call it quits type of counseling, or is it we just can't communicate?
Sure, it's a wide variety. So people think therapy is something that you have to do when you're like at your wit's end and when things are like going so terrible.
Right.
I don't believe that. We can do therapy at different moments in our life. So sometimes couples come with me to talk about how do we parent our child, or how do we make a decision on where do we go for Christmas or Thanksgiving. So it can be these everyday tasks that people want help with, and support and a safe space to talk about anything from sex therapy. I do that as well, to discernment therapy. Discernment therapy is where people come to me and say, Nancy, we want to find out if we're going to stay together or not.
Wow.
So I'm really good at helping people by using the discernment therapy technique. But anything you can name that people deal with, I'm able to help them.
Well, let me ask you that, because you mentioned discernment therapy. Like, what does that look like?
Oh my goodness, discernment therapy is great. So there's so many ways that people can utilize this tool. What I like to say is any tool that a therapist has is just a lens that they put on, right?
Gotcha.
And so I can take it off. It's not the end all be all. But for instance, when I do discernment therapy, I usually do it within about 4 to 6 sessions. So usually in about 4 to 6 sessions, my couples typically know if they want to stay together or not. So it's a very rigid technique, but it's really meant to help them decide, do you want to stay together? And then that means do more therapy to work on your issues. Or are you kind of done with this situation? Because I'm a big believer in not staying stuck in anything.
Right. Now, is that you sending them home with homework type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
So I don't do cookie cutter, so I don't like that at all. I'm a therapist that utilizes a lot of techniques. I've been doing this over 14 years, so I like to say I knew 14. So I ain't new to this, I'm true to this.
But aren't you like 18?
I have a very youthful spirit, but I've been in the field in some capacity over 14 years, and then
Okay.
I've owned my private practice.
Nice.
My private practice is It Is Well Psychotherapy.
It is well. Okay.
Psychotherapy,
I love
yeah.
it.
So I own that because I want people to be well. So
Yeah.
wellness is very important. But I've owned that for about 4 years now.
Okay.
And so there's so many different people that come across my path, and I'm able to help them with different techniques.
Now, therapy in the black community was a huge stigma for quite some time. And we're starting to slowly peel that back to where we're starting to feel more comfortable with going to therapy. Have you found any resistance when it comes to, African Americans?
Sure, I think with the pandemic, it's just opened everybody up to therapy. I'm a big believer in getting treatment and also getting treatment by people who look like us.
Gotcha.
So I think it's really comforting for people to come to therapy knowing that somebody is going to have just one common thing. All of us are different, but
Yeah.
it's really nice to have providers of color that provide support. So I think people are more open to it. And I'm the type of therapist that's very accepting and affirming of all lifestyles. So I don't work with just one type of person.
Yeah.
But specifically when it comes to the black community, I feel like people feel like they have to pick either therapy or God. And I feel like you can have both.
You can have Jesus
You can
in
have
therapy.
Jesus in therapy. And
Right.
oftentimes we need a little bit of everything.
You know?
Or whoever you worship,
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
you believe in. I feel like you can have both of those things.
Absolutely.
And so therapy is amazing and healing. And I like to say we're the best secret keepers, right? So like that's really important for people to know that they have comfort and
Yeah.
confidentiality when you come and speak to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, Nancy, this has been good.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, I don't understand. 14 years.
14
I
years
don't
in the
believe
field,
it.
y'all.
She
2023
capping
makes
over
it
here,
14
y'all.
years because I've been doing this in 4 years in business.
Wow, wow. Well, congratulations, man, and continued success. Where can people find out more about you and on social media and all that?
Yes. So I'm on all the social media platforms, so Instagram and Facebook, TikTok as well. It's It Is Well Psychotherapy. So It Is Well Psychotherapy, all one word.
Okay.
That's also my website, www.itiswellpsychotherapy.com.
That is what's up. Hey, if y'all listen, peel back the veil of that stigma, take it off, go seek therapy. I've done it. Counseling is good. That's right. Jesus in therapy is all
You can have
right.
whoever you want in therapy.
You know what I mean? Do
Amen.
your thing and get yourself some help. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
No,
it.
this has been great, man. It's your man G-Way, coughing and choking over here, holding it down. G-Way Podcast, Simply Connect. We still in the building. Y'all don't go nowhere. Keep it locked.